What's up, guys? This is EJ Holland with the Wolverine.com, and we are back with another Michigan recruiting report before we talk about 5 new visits that have been set by some elite recruits. Just housekeeping item, we won't have a regular Tuesday show. I am on vacation, but for now you can enjoy this video. Make sure to like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel for free, get notifications every time we drop new videos, and subscribe to the Wolverine.com. If you can't get enough Michigan recruiting intel here on YouTube, make sure to head over to the Wolverine.com right now. Use the promo code UM1. That's $1 for 2 months over at the Wolverine.com. Get exclusive insider recruiting, team, basketball, transfer portal, and so much more over at the Wolverine.com. Again, get your exclusive content using that promo code UM1. All right, guys, let's talk about 5 recruits that recently set visits. So 5 new visitors here. Let's go ahead and start off with the big fish. 5-star quarterback Ryder Lyons is now set to make a visit to Michigan on April 12th. Huge news reported first by our own Ethan McDowell. Ryder Lyons is Michigan's top overall quarterback target this cycle. It's really not hard to see why Lyons is at the top of Michigan's board. When you turn on the film, you kind of see a lot of similar traits as J.J. McCarthy, just a guy that has an elite level arm. He can create in and out of the pocket. He's a true threat with his legs. He's a great leader. He's a winner at Folsom High School in California. I think Lyons checks a ton of boxes for the prototypical quarterback that has success at the college level. I think he would be a dynamic playmaker in Michigan's offense. Right now, I think Michigan has worked itself right into the top group of his list. You have others like USC, where his brother plays, Oregon, BYU, all in the picture. Obviously, those schools are all out west, but I think he's very intrigued with what the Michigan program has to offer. I think head coach Sharon Moore and offensive coordinator Chip Lindsey have done a fantastic job of building relationships with him. They went out and saw him during the winter contact period. This will be his first visit to Michigan, so it's imperative for the Wolverines to make a really strong impression on Lyons and his family. Now, the thing about Lyons to note is he is of LDS faith. That means he will be taking an 18-month mission upon graduation, technically making him a 2027 quarterback. He wouldn't enroll on campus until 2027. That's okay, though. Bryce Underwood would be a junior at that point. Lyons would need to readjust from his mission. And then, you give him a year, he's ready to go after Underwood's gone, assuming he's, 3 and done. If he lives up to that 5-star billing, you transition right to Ryder Lyons. I think that's the ideal scenario for Michigan. Again, I think Michigan's in the top group, still some work to do for that scenario to come into fruition. But I like that the Wolverines have built up some momentum here and have scheduled him in for a visit. All right, let's go ahead and move on to wide receiver Davion Brown, who is set to make a visit on April 12th. Davion Brown has long been on Michigan's radar. He actually picked up an offer from the Wolverines last year. There wasn't much going on between the two parties. He had never been to campus, but Ron Bellamy, Michigan's wide receiver coach, went down to Richmond, Virginia, visited with Davion Brown during the winter contact period, really moved the needle, got him to set up this unofficial visit. So he'll be on campus at the same time as Ryder Lyons. So could be a good quarterback wide receiver duo in the future for the Wolverines. Look, wide receiver is obviously a big position of need for Michigan this cycle. There's a lot to like about Davion Brown. He has a thick build at 6'1", 200 pounds, really athletic prospect as well. I had a chance to see him on the basketball court this winter. He's a really good player there. I also had a chance to see him in a camp setting at Under Armour's Future 50 event last summer, and I thought he was one of the top wide receivers there. So Davion Brown quickly rising up Michigan's wide receiver board. He already has some other official visits scheduled, but I think Michigan can really move the needle on this unofficial visit and secure an official visit. Michigan recently made his top 5 and is trending in a positive direction here. All right, let's go ahead and flip over to the defensive side of the ball and talk about on 300 linebacker Matthew Kanu, who is now set to visit on April 19th. Kanu recently bumped up into the top 300. He was actually unranked. He's a kid that I've been high on since I went to visit him early last month. You can see just, on the hoof, he's a guy that's 6'3", listed at 221, actually 230 is what he came in at on his recent visit to Penn State. So 6'3", 230, long, intriguing athlete who has a background playing safety. You see he's a 3-star in the industry, but on 3 recently bumped him up to the number 277 overall prospect in the country. He recently started to generate a lot of buzz on the recruiting trail. This was his first year playing linebacker. He just moved from Ohio to Virginia here recently. So he was really flying under the radar before, this last month or so. I think Michigan has established itself as a true player in the recruitment of Kanu. I think Penn State got a head start on the Wolverines, but Michigan is making up ground quickly. I think, like Davion Brown, this will be his first time on campus, and I think Michigan can continue to trend in the right direction and make a big impression on that visit. All right, let's stick on the defensive side of the ball and talk about safety Kaiden Hall, top 100 prospect out of Florida. Now, Kaiden Hall is a guy we haven't talked too much about. He was supposed to make a visit to Michigan in the fall for the game against Oregon. He had some travel plans that, he had conflicting travel plans and things just didn't work out for him to make it to campus. He is now set to be on campus on April 5th. So big visit here. Hall being one of the top safeties in the country on 3 has him ranked as the number 4 safety nationally. He's a big, intriguing kid at 6'3", 175 pounds. I actually had a chance to see him at Under Armour's Future 50 event last summer and was really impressed with just his length, his ball skills, his versatility on the back end. Michigan had a fantastic secondary haul last cycle, but the piece they really missed that they wanted was a taller, longer safety. Kaiden Hall is definitely an option to fit that. Again, this will be his first visit, so Michigan has a little bit of work to do, but I think they can establish themselves as a true top contender in this race with a strong spring visit. All right, sticking in the secondary, let's talk about our last visitor, and that's Jordan Thomas out of Bergen Catholic in New Jersey, set to make a visit on April 15th. Jordan Thomas is a guy we've talked about a lot recently. Obviously, I went out to New Jersey and saw him on the road a few weeks ago. He was a big riser in the on-3 rankings, going from, I believe he was a 3-star all the way up to the number 202 overall prospect in the country, a top 200 player in the industry ranking. He's been a top priority for Michigan for a while. This will be his 3rd visit in so many months. He visited in September. He was back at Michigan in early February. And now he's set to be back on April 15th for his spring practice. Michigan getting him on campus that many times, I think, speaks volumes of where the Wolverines stand. And it's important that Michigan's getting him back on campus in April because Thomas does plan on making a spring decision. Now, I think Michigan's right at the top of the list, but I am concerned about a few others, primarily Texas A&M, but Ohio State isn't going away. Texas is still in the mix. USC is still in the mix as well. There are a few other schools that should be getting him on campus this spring as well. But again, Michigan's put in a lot of positive work here. They've made him feel like a top priority. They've made his family feel like a top priority. They have a great relationship with his NIL agent, Latish Kinsler, as well. So I think this is a very realistic possibility for Michigan. They just have to keep moving the needle on his spring visit. All right, guys, so that's 5 new recruits that have set spring visits for Michigan. We have consistent news flowing in over at thewolverine.com. We've been breaking all these visit scoops. So come over to thewolverine.com, subscribe today. Never miss a visit scoop or anything recruiting related. Use that promo code UM1. That's $1 for 2 months over at thewolverine.com for exclusive recruiting information. Also, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Get notifications every time we drop new videos, and we'll see y'all next week.